Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing an album review of Parkway Drive's Darker Still. This is a very brutal album and I think I have some very brutal opinions, so yeah, just bear with me. We're going to be starting off with Ground Zero, and I won't lie to you, I wasn't really that blown away by it. It starts off as the opening song to the album. It ticked all the boxes for me. It had all the Parkway Drive I don't know, terms and what they usually do, but it just felt like it lacked a personality. It was a little bit of a filler song, and it's a bit weird to have a filler song so early on, or even being the first song of the album. It kind of fell flat a little bit for me. I think the build up between the verse, the pre-chorus was good, but then when we actually got into the chorus, I was a little bit disappointed. I was a little bit like, oh, is this it, really? It kind of didn't give me any assurances that this was going to be an amazing album from the get-go. A couple of the singles that we had in the past, they were a little bit making me feel a little bit uneasy, and this song didn't really put my nerves at ease at all. So I started the album with a 6 out of 10. However, the second song that we did was Like Napalm, and I gave this a 7 out of 10. The chorus was very memorable. I enjoyed listening to the chorus. It sounded quite heavy. It sounded like quite, you know, Parkway Drive-esque, but with a hint of personality towards it. The song just gets stuck into it straight away. There's no small little build up. If anything, the song actually started so strong that it felt like the song had already been going. It felt like we'd just been dropped into half of the song already. I enjoyed the slowish chorus. I enjoyed the religious connotations. I actually quite enjoyed the whole Like Napalm chorus. Just, you could sing along to it, you can get into it, you can feel quite powerful as well when you sing it. Just a little standout credit. I really love the line where it goes, "Dead is dead to me." I don't know, it's just so catchy. I just love it. I'm gonna give that one a 7 out of 10. The third song is Glitch. That was the first single that we listened to. When I first listened to Glitch, when it came out, I was a little bit yeah, I like it, but it seems a bit odd for me. After the first two songs that we've listened to, yes, I liked Like Napalm. Liked Like Napalm. I can't even speak now. But Glitch was actually quite nice. It was quite comfortable listening to that song again, and I've definitely grown a more likingness to it than I did previously. I really enjoyed the breakdown. It was the heaviest breakdown that we got so far on the album. It's also the first time that the new elements of how Winston sings came across. I took it for granted as a single, but in the album I actually did really appreciate it a lot more. The constant pace changes worked really well. The drums were just really good throughout the song. The bridge, the breakdown, all of it was really good. Also liked the whispering in this song as well. It just breaks the tension just a little bit. If it wasn't an actual single, I would still see it as a bit of a filler song, but as a filler song, it was quite strong for a filler song. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for this one. As you can see, we're starting to get better, but I do have to stop us dead in our tracks here, because The Greatest Fear it wasn't really scary at all. When I first reacted to it, I liked some elements to it, but the more I listen to it, the more I just skip it, the more I think it's quite long, the more I think it's so choppy, and it's almost 3 different songs put together. You know, the flow's going well, and then it just stops dead, and then just carries on, but just a completely different feel to it, different approach. I wasn't a massive fan of it. It's very theatrical, it's very musical-esque as well, the song. It also felt because it was so long, I think you could have left it up to the solo, and then about 3 minutes 30 just left it and ended the song there, but they carried on for another 2 minutes. I just felt this song's too long and it doesn't progress and build up to something amazing for me. Yes, the breakdown was actually quite good. I did enjoy that, but as a song, it just felt like a complete mix match. So yeah, I gave it a 6 out of 10 for that. Now, Darker Still was an amazing journey. If you go back and watch my reaction to it, you can see how much I enjoyed it. It was just perfect. It was completely new and different from the start. We had the whistling, we had the acoustic guitar, we had the very soft, calming vocals from Winston, and then we break into a little bit more guitar-esque. We got the electrical guitar, but it's not heavy metal electric guitar. It's not the usual tones, but it actually fucking rocks. And the build-up all the way through, all the instruments constantly getting added in. We got the drums being added in, we got the strings being added in, and then everything gets just pushed together into this massive, there was just so many layers to this song. We had a feel of a solo, but then we actually had a proper solo in it as well. Throughout the song, we were still having quite calm, soft vocals, and then he just breaks character just a little bit, goes back to some hard vocals, and just that little bit there made such an impact on the song. I didn't need any more. That was just enough. It was an experience to listen to that song. So yeah, that is a 10 out of 10. The next song, which was Imperial Heretic, we had a nice lead, we got the good rhythm as well, the chuggy bit, the palm mute, you know, that was all added extras to the lead that we already had with Imperial Heretic. Very catchy chorus. For some reason, I always thought of it as an advert, you want it! That's always just sticks in my mind. Once again, it's personality, it's memorable. There's an aspect of that song that I can go, oh yeah, Imperial Heretic, that's the one where they do this. I'm loving the solos which we got throughout the song. I'm loving the choir as well. They use a lot of choir vocals throughout, but here it really does like hit for me. And then we finish with the lead guitar fading out as well, and we're like basically fading out on the highest contributor of that song and the album, in my opinion. It's been going great, isn't it? We've got 10s, we've got 8s and all that. But this song is going to be quite controversial for you, because if a God Can Bleed, I can appreciate that it's well produced, well mastered, well mixed. It just doesn't do anything for me. It's just a bit weird. I feel like the random voice he puts on, the random words and the random lyrics, you know, the fat little piggy, which, you know, yes, it's memorable, but parts of me I'm like, what? Why? I don't get it. It didn't really make too much sense for me. So I would put it as a 5 out of 10, and I feel kind of bad, but I just don't get the... It's just not for me, that bit at all. The ending kind of ends on such a cliffhanger that I'm like, well, what's happening now? And you'd think it leads on straight to the next song. It does, but I don't think it's meant to. I think that's just how that next song starts. Now we can forget about any more low scores. We're into the final phase of the album, and I can definitely say that the start of the album was weak, but the ending of the album was so strong. And we're going with Soul Bleach. As soon as you play this song and you hear that brutal word, poison, and then the actual song title, you know you're in for a fucking ride with this song. Pre-chorus goes hard, but the chorus goes even harder. We come across a little bit repetitive, you know, just saying kill, 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 but it was just the impact, the intensity, and it was just like, what am I listening to? Oh my God, this is so brutal. Once again, we got another solo. Breakdown comes in straight after the solo. We do have a lot of solos and breakdowns in this album, we do, and sometimes I think the lesser songs can just get faded out. You can just exclude them to go for the better songs, because the better songs have the better solos, the better breakdowns, and this is definitely one of the better songs, obviously, and the breakdown straight after the solo goes really hard, and it just increases every time, like they say the word run. Ends abruptly, just as abruptly as it did when it started. 9 out of 10 for that one. I said Darker Still was a 10 out of 10. This is also a 10 out of 10. And oh, by the way, I haven't counted Strangers in this because it's just not a song, and there's just no point going over it. Land of the Lost, my favourite song on this album, without a doubt. I love this song. It has got something in my head that I so love. It's just like starting off like with the voiceover and then the dig, and then bang, straight in. It's got this motivation towards it. It's got this like empowering feel behind the whole song. I mean, the pre-chorus, it's kind of like almost questioning you, the listener. Are you a holy girl? Are you a righteous boy? Whatever. And then we get into the actual chorus, which yes, is a little bit repetitive, but it's just the vibe that comes with it. It's just so good. I listen to it a lot when I'm in the gym. Really gets me in that headspace that I need. It gives me that motivation to just dig a little deeper, find that part of me that I can't always get out, and like reach my full potential. That is what that song feels like. This breakdown is my favorite as well. It is the most guttural breakdown. Lambs to the Slaughter, oh my God, it was just awesome. Listen to it first time, it still gives me the same feel when I listen to it the 100th time. Maybe not 100. It's just brutal, and that is exactly what I wanted from a Parkway Drive album, and I got it. Just that growl, that squeal, it just gets the dopamine flowing, and I'm just like, oh. Now the last song on the album, nothing can top Land of the Lost, so it's not a 10 out of 10, but it is a 9 out of 10, and that is From the Heart of the Darkness. Genuinely feels like a final battle song, which is great to have like at the end of the album. Kind of sounds like a chants, like war chants, like hoo, hoo, gets into it, nice and chuggy. The heavy chorus is my favourite thing, like how they kind of come across with their lyrics. You think it's going to end at some point, but they carry on a little bit longer. So it's not just like torn, it's like torn. Terrible impression. I sound a little bit better, but I'm not going to do it, I've got a bad throat. This was like a perfect ending to an album that I was worried about from the start. There was a couple of odd songs at the start which I couldn't really get into. They're experimental songs as well. I didn't really get too much. The ones that make Parkway Drive, like Soul Bleach, like Land of the Lost, like From the Heart of the Darkness, they're all just so good for me. Obviously some better than others, blah, blah, blah. Darker Still, the actual album title, that song was different, original, unique in its own way, and they smashed it out of the park there. 9 out of 10 for the last song, and if you add all of the scores up, it's 77 out of 100. 7 out of 10, almost 8 out of 10. I think that's fair on this one. Let me know what you thought about this down below. Do you think I've been a bit harsh? It was a bit hard trying to like work out what's 6s and what's 10s, but I feel like sometimes 7 just seems to be like the standard. Yeah, it was a really solid song, when some of these songs, they just weren't for me. That's why they were 6s. 5 out of 10, maybe a bit harsh, but I think if any other song on this album I gave a 5 out of 10 on, then you would have a go at me for, but you can kind of understand where I'm coming from with that one. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you hopefully real soon. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you once again real soon. Thank you very much. See you later. Bye. like, no. I can't even speak now.